a crypto empire worth $32 billion, gone overnight. Customers left penniless, investors blindsided, and the man behind it all, once hailed as the next Warren Buffett, now facing a courtroom for fraud. This isn't just a story of greed. It's a web of deception so deep, it shook the foundations of the cryptocurrency world. How did one of the most trusted names in crypto become the biggest scandal of the decade? Welcome to the unbelievable rise and catastrophic fall of FTX. Every empire begins with a dream, and for Sam Bankman-Fried, that dream was to revolutionize cryptocurrency trading. In 2019, the young MIT graduate launched FTX, a platform that promised to redefine the way we trade digital assets. But how did this visionary entrepreneur rise to the top so quickly? Sam Bankman-Fried, often called SBF, was a physics and mathematics graduate from MIT. He began his career at Jane Street Capital, a Wall Street trading firm, where he mastered the art of arbitrage, profiting from price differences across markets. But in 2017, SBF saw a new frontier in cryptocurrency. He founded Alameda Research, a trading firm that exploited price inefficiencies in crypto markets. One of his most lucrative strategies involved buying Bitcoin in the U.S. and selling it for a higher price in Japan, earning millions in the process. By 2019, SBF had identified a critical gap in the crypto industry. Existing exchanges were clunky, prone to crashes, and lacked the tools that professional traders needed. His solution? FTX, a sleek, user-friendly platform designed for traders of all levels. From tokenized stocks to leverage trading, FTX quickly became the go-to platform for innovative trading options. Unlike other exchanges, it also promised a commitment to security and transparency, values that would later come into question. FTX didn't just rely on technology to build its empire. SBF leveraged celebrity endorsements and high-profile sponsorships to make FTX a household name. From securing naming rights to the Miami Heat's arena to partnering with Tom Brady and Steph Curry, FTX became a symbol of trust and innovation. The company's marketing strategies were bold and effective, attracting millions of users and billions of dollars in investments. By 2021, FTX was valued at $32 billion, placing it among the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. As FTX grew, it didn't just dominate the crypto market, it became a powerhouse in the financial world. Major investors, including Sequoia Capital and SoftBank, poured billions into the platform, betting on its potential to reshape global finance. SBF, with his unkempt hair and laid-back style, became the poster child of the crypto revolution. Media outlets hailed him as the next Warren Buffett, a genius who could bridge the gap between traditional finance and the digital future. But behind the glitz and glamour, cracks were beginning to form. Beneath the surface of FTX's success lay a web of mismanagement, conflicts of interest, and a house of cards waiting to collapse. The story of FTX was just beginning, and it wouldn't end well. As FTX reached its peak, whispers of irregularities began to circulate. While the world celebrated its success, insiders started asking difficult questions about the company's operations and its suspiciously close ties to Alameda Research. The cracks in FTX Foundation were beginning to show. Alameda Research, the trading firm founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, was supposed to operate independently of FTX. However, reports began to surface that the two entities were deeply intertwined. Alameda not only used FTX for its trades, but also allegedly benefited from privileged access to customer funds. This close relationship raised eyebrows. Critics questioned whether FTX's customers were unknowingly funding Alameda's trading activities, a practice that would later prove disastrous. While FTX boasted about its robust systems and security, allegations of financial mismanagement began to emerge. Insiders hinted that FTX lacked proper accounting controls and relied heavily on unverified internal reports to track billions of dollars in assets. One of the most alarming claims was that customer deposits were being used to cover Alameda Research's growing losses, a clear violation of trust and financial ethics. In November 2022, the first major crack appeared. A leaked Alameda Research balance sheet revealed that much of the firm's $14.6 billion in assets consisted of illiquid tokens, including $5.8 billion in FTT, the native token of FTX. The balance sheet also showed that Alameda's liabilities exceeded $8 billion. This revelation raised serious doubts about the financial health of both Alameda and FTX, shaking investor confidence to its core. The situation escalated when Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, a major early investor in FTX, publicly announced that Binance would liquidate its FTT holdings. Citing recent revelations, CZ's tweet sparked panic among investors, triggering a massive sell-off of FTT tokens. The value of FTT nosedived, losing over 80% of its value in just days. This sell-off exposed FTX's liquidity issues, setting off a chain reaction that would spiral out of control. As fear spread, FTX faced a classic bank run. Customers rushed to withdraw their funds, but FTX simply didn't have enough liquid assets to meet the demand. Over $6 billion in withdrawal requests flooded the platform in just 72 hours, forcing FTX to halt transactions. For customers, the realization was devastating. Their funds were locked, their trust shattered, and their hopes of recovering their assets began to fade. The once mighty empire of FTX was crumbling. What began as whispers of mismanagement had erupted into a full-blown financial crisis. But this was only the beginning. The true scale of the deception would soon come to light, and the fallout would be unprecedented. It began with whispers, turned into panic, and ended in complete collapse. In November 2022, FTX, a $32 billion cryptocurrency powerhouse, fell apart almost overnight. What followed was a whirlwind of financial chaos, desperate attempts to save the company, and a betrayal that rocked the crypto world. At the heart of FTX's collapse was an $8 billion shortfall. When customers rushed to withdraw their funds during the panic, they discovered that FTX simply didn't have the money. Investigations revealed that billions of dollars in customer deposits had been misappropriated. These funds were funneled into Alameda Research, FTX's sister company, to cover massive trading losses, a practice that violated the very foundation of trust in the platform. As FTX struggled to stay afloat, Binance briefly stepped in with an offer to acquire the failing company. But within 24 hours, Binance withdrew its support, citing insurmountable financial issues uncovered during due diligence. This move shattered any remaining hope of recovery. Without a buyer, FTX was left to face the inevitable. On November 11, 2022, FTX officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The filing revealed that the company owed billions of dollars to millions of creditors, with little chance of repayment. The bankruptcy included FTX, Alameda Research, and over 100 affiliated companies, marking one of the largest corporate failures in recent history. The collapse of FTX sent shockwaves through the cryptocurrency world. Major assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum lost significant value, while other exchanges faced a flood of withdrawal requests as users questioned their safety. For the crypto industry, the fallout was devastating. Trust in centralized platforms was shattered, leading to calls for greater transparency and regulation. For FTX's customers, the collapse wasn't just a financial disaster. It was personal. Many had entrusted their life savings to the platform, believing it was safe. But now, their funds were gone, leaving them angry, betrayed, and with little hope of recovery. Court-appointed trustees are now working to trace and recover lost assets, but for many, the damage is already done. As the dust settled, attention turned to Sam Bankman-Fried and his team. How did one of the most trusted names in crypto orchestrate such a monumental collapse? The answers would come in the form of lawsuits, criminal charges, and a trial that would put the entire crypto industry under the microscope. When FTX collapsed, it didn't just take down a company. It left a trail of financial devastation and unanswered questions. As the world began to grasp the scale of the scandal, all eyes turned to the man at the center of it, Sam Bankman-Fried. Just weeks after FTX's collapse, Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas, where FTX was headquartered. He was charged with multiple counts of fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. Prosecutors allege that SBF knowingly misled investors, misappropriated billions of dollars in customer funds, and used that money to finance risky trades, luxury properties, and political donations. Investigations revealed a tangled web of financial misconduct. FTX had been funneling customer deposits to Alameda Research, which used the money to cover massive trading losses. Despite this, SBF continued to assure customers and investors that their funds were safe. Executives close to SBF were also implicated, with some cooperating with prosecutors in exchange for leniency. The extent of the deception stunned even seasoned financial experts. For millions of FTX customers, the collapse was a financial nightmare. Many had their life savings tied up in the platform, with no clear path to recovery. Bankruptcy filings showed that FTX owed billions to creditors, making it one of the largest financial collapses in history. While court-appointed trustees are working to trace and recover lost funds, the process is slow and uncertain. For many customers, the damage is already irreversible. The collapse of FTX shook the cryptocurrency industry to its core. Trust in centralized exchanges plummeted, leading to a sharp drop in crypto asset values. Major coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum lost significant value as investors panicked. Other exchanges scrambled to reassure customers, with some implementing emergency audits to prove their solvency. The crisis raised questions about the future of the industry and whether greater oversight was needed. The FTX scandal sparked a global conversation about the need for regulation in the cryptocurrency industry. Governments around the world called for stricter oversight to prevent another collapse of this scale. Proposals include mandatory audits for exchanges, restrictions on proprietary tokens, and improved consumer protections. But striking a balance between regulation and innovation remains a challenge. Sam Bankman-Fried's legal battle has become one of the most high-profile financial trials in history. Prosecutors have presented damning evidence of deliberate fraud, while SBF's defense argues that the collapse was due to mismanagement, not malice. If convicted, SBF faces decades in prison. His trial is not just about punishing wrongdoing. It's about setting a precedent for how the crypto industry will be held accountable in the future. The collapse of FTX is more than a story of greed and mismanagement. It's a defining moment for cryptocurrency. The lessons from this scandal will shape the future of finance, leaving us to wonder, can trust in crypto ever be restored? The collapse of FTX was more than just a financial disaster. It was a wake-up call for investors, regulators, and the entire cryptocurrency industry. While the fallout was devastating, it also left behind valuable lessons that can guide us toward a safer financial future. The lack of transparency at FTX was a key factor in its downfall. Investors trusted the company without verified proof of its financial health. Moving forward, customers and regulators must demand independently audited financial statements to ensure companies remain accountable. FTX's heavy reliance on its native token, FTT, created a false sense of stability. When its value dropped, it triggered a cascade of failures. Diversification and skepticism toward proprietary tokens are crucial lessons for the crypto. Trust, but verify. Investors must perform due diligence, researching company practices, leadership, and financial transparency. Blind trust can lead to devastating consequences. Centralized exchanges like FTX hold customer funds, making them vulnerable to misuse. Decentralized alternatives allow users to trade directly, reducing risks and empowering individuals to control their own assets. One of the safest ways to protect your assets is self-custody. By storing your cryptocurrency in a secure wallet, you maintain full control and safeguard against exchange failures. Diversification is a timeless rule in investing. Spreading your assets across multiple platforms and investment types minimizes your risk and shields you from catastrophic losses. The FTX scandal has intensified calls for regulation in the cryptocurrency industry. Governments are proposing frameworks that include mandatory audits, restrictions on token usage, and improved consumer protections. However, regulation must strike a balance. Overregulation could stifle the growth of blockchain technology, while underregulation leaves investors exposed to bad actors. Cryptocurrency is a global phenomenon, and its regulation must reflect that. Countries need to work together to create unified standards for accountability and security. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Unrealistic promises of guaranteed returns are a hallmark of scams and should always raise suspicion. Another red flag is a company's refusal to provide audited financial statements. Transparency is the foundation of trust. Without it, proceed with caution. Overly aggressive marketing, especially with celebrity endorsements, can distract from underlying risks. Always look beyond the hype and evaluate the fundamentals. The fear of missing out is a powerful force in financial markets. But rushing into investments during hype cycles often leads to regret. Take your time to make informed decisions. In a world of flashy ads and social media promotions, doing your own research is more important than ever. Rely on verified data and expert analysis, not influencer endorsements. Patience and skepticism are your best allies in navigating volatile markets. Wait for clear opportunities, and don't let emotions cloud your judgment. While the collapse of FTX was a harsh lesson, it also offers an opportunity to rebuild. By demanding transparency, embracing decentralized tools, and staying vigilant, we can create a safer, more resilient financial future. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories like this here on Cash Chronicles. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.